Okay, everyone, thank you for joining. Good evening, everyone. And I'm excited again to have us join the James Oluwole leadership section today. I'm glad to see you all from our different parts of the world. For those that are joining, thank you for your time. Thank you for always staying in tune to the James Oluwole Leadership Masterclass. It's been an exciting experience. It's been a great time connecting with you all, and I am, as usual, grateful to have your commitment, your time with us. And today we are going into another exciting session. It's going to, as usual, be another engagement where we are developing and growing ourselves as leaders and challenging ourselves to become more effective in our leadership. I want to thank you all for staying in tune, and for those that are joining for the first time, this is the James Oluwole Leadership Masterclass. We meet once every 2 weeks on the Sunday at this time, which is 7 p.m. CAT, which is Mozambique, South Africa, Eswatini time, and at GMT is 5 p.m. Ghana time at the moment. UK time is 6 p.m. and I'm just excited. Also, Nigerian time is 6 p.m. So thank you for connecting across the world. It's an exciting time, and you can always access the James Oluwole Leadership YouTube channel to access most of our videos and our past teachings. There are a lot of teachings and sections that have been uploaded, and I just want to thank my media team. They're also here with me today. Thank you for your incredible support. It's amazing to have you guys all supporting this vision as we continue to make impact across our world. We're looking at the Leader's Motive Part 2 today, and we looked at the Part 1 2 weeks ago, and the feedback has been wow. It's been amazing. The experience so far, the feedback I have received, even from myself, I have over and over again listened to the video, watched it over again, and I am deeply humbled for the depth of information that we have I provided in that section, kind of opening up so much about the motive of a leader and the challenges that a reward-centered leader creates, which our intention is, as much as reward leadership to some extent might look good, but we are kind of encouraging everyone to be more of a responsible leader than a reward-centered leader, because a reward-centered leader, one is focused on just himself and what they achieve, rather than looking at creating impact and becoming more of a servanthood leadership, which is what a responsibility-centered leadership is all about. And during the first section, also during the Part 1, we looked at some key definitions on leadership. The questions also were great, and today we are looking at the Part 2. So in this Part 2, I would be concluding some aspect of the motive and the challenges of a reward-centered leader, and then we would also look at how to become an effective leader. And to become an effective leader, it doesn't matter the kind of leadership style, the kind of leadership approach, the level of leadership you are, either if you are at the position level leadership or you are at the top level leadership. Everyone wants to be effective. Everyone wants to be productive. And that is what we're going to be rounding up today. And as usual, it's been today engaging again. So please stay tuned as we commence. I'm again excited to have you all join. And as usual, please, you can always drop your questions on the chat box, particularly for those joining us live on Zoom, and for those on WhatsApp. When the question time comes, we are happy to also have you also to ask your questions. So let's stay on touch. Let's stay live and make the section engaging. Thank you. By way of just moving ahead, I said just kind of a recap again from what we learned in the last section. During the Part 1, of the leadership masterclass that we had 2 weeks ago, I shared some of the challenges of a reward-centered leader that impacts their motive in leadership and have not allowed them to lead effectively. And I would like to speak briefly on those 3 challenges again that we looked at in our last section before continuing on today's section. During our last section, we looked at one of the challenges of a reward-centered leader, which is failing to develop their leadership team. And I try to share with us that as a reward-centered leader, the challenge that we see is that the reward-centered leader they don't want to build a team. They want to do things themselves only. They are more conscious around engaging with others. And these are some of the weaknesses that we see with a reward-centered leader. And here I could have said, the reward-centered leader, as number one, I said they do this is done with some element of bias and unwillingness to become effective in leadership. Many reward-centered leaders, they want to work in silos and become the only superstar. That's one of the challenge we see with a reward-centered leader. They want to do things themselves. They want to do things in silos, and in that instance, they want to prove that they are the superstar. The plan must be their own plan, and if it's not their plan, the plan is non-accepted. If it's not their way, it is non-accepted. That is a challenge that we see with a reward-centered leader. They are not ready to equip their team with the right resources and give them the autonomy to perform their tasks and provide them the required support. So these are the things, and the reason I'm sharing this with us today is so that every one of us, you can begin to check some of these challenges and begin to work around fixing it if you find yourself in this situation, or you find yourself in an organization where you have a boss, you have a leader, you have a CEO that is also acting this way. We need to start guiding them by identifying some of these challenges that the reward-centered leader have. Most of the reward-centered leaders, they do not empower people around them, including their spouse and children. That is how bad it is. The experience has been bad to the level where they do not even empower the people around them. It's a challenge. Many times, people around the reward-centered leaders are redundant and they never grow. It's always an issue, and it's something that I just want every one of us to understand, that as a reward-centered leader, there is that challenge that people don't empower their team. They don't empower their leaders. They don't empower people around them. And sometimes it creates a challenge. Now, the number 2 that we looked at last week was that they are never committed to manage their subordinates and making them to manage theirs. That's another challenge of a reward-centered leader. And here, I said there is Guilford Thomas. Guilford Thomas said something. He said the best leaders are passionate about developing emerging leaders, because true leaders don't create more followers. They create more leaders. So we want every one of us here to please understand that according to Guilford Thomas, as leaders, we must be passionate. We must be committed. We must see to us bringing and developing leaders beyond us, and that is why we have to manage them. You as a leader, you must show commitment to lead your subordinates and develop them to make you irrelevant on your role, so that you can take up other higher responsibility. This is where the problem is. Many reward-centered leaders, they are not ready to take up the next responsibility. They are not ready to take up the next challenge. So they want to guide the position. They want to guide the job. They want to guide their current status. And because of that, they are not allowing people under them to grow. They are not allowing people under them to take up their responsibility. In fact, it's so bad to the level that when a reward-centered leader is on vacation or they are on leave,
the work is undone when they are not there. That is not how to lead. If nobody can step in to do your job when you are not there, then you are not leading right. What makes you an effective leader, what makes your motive right, is that people under you should be able to perform excellently as a result of your leadership and as a result of your capacity in managing them right. The question is, are you doing that? The question is, am I doing that? And if we are not, this is a call to action to us that we have to stay committed. We have to see how we manage people on us, and we feel proud that they are ready to perform to the point that yes, we also can begin to phase out or take up the next responsibility. I read an extract from a book, The Courage to Lead by Barry Bosner and James Cousins. Now, in that book, they said something and that caught my attention. They said exceptional leaders possess a deep passion for nurturing and cultivating the next generation of leaders. They understand that true leadership is not about amassing followers. Please, I want you to understand this also, that true leadership has nothing to do with you having thousands following you. And this is the error we have in our politicians across Africa, across the nations, because all they care about is to have just followers, but they are not impacting people because they themselves, they lack the capacity to lead right. And that's the problem. So if you feel that all you want is just to have multitudes following you, and they are hailing you as a leader, and you cannot produce them to become effective in leadership, then something is wrong with you. And this is what Barry and Jakes are saying in that book, The Courage to Lead. Because leadership requires courage, and we must be able to take responsibility. We must be able to show that commitment. We must be able to show the sacrifice in our leadership. Now, reward-centered leaders have the challenge to manage people. That's the problem. Under their leadership, everything is acceptable. Everything, whatever that comes their way, it's fine. They don't care. They accept anything, even when it does not align to the culture. It does not align to the principles. It does not align to the dictates and the systems and the values of the organization or the ministry or whatever it is, or the institution. Reward-centered leaders don't have process, and they just allow anything to go, and no well-defined structures and systems. Accountability and feedback is a challenge. Now, the third thing we learned last week as part of the challenge of a reward-centered leader is that they are not willing to have a difficult conversation or uncomfortable conversation. They are scared of that. They want, no matter what happens, everything is fine. They are not ready to hold people accountable. That's the challenge that these individuals have. They are not ready. So reward-centered leaders, they don't want people also to see their mistakes. And even when you see their mistakes, they challenge you not to talk. They tell you, oh, don't speak out. They lack the capacity to be vulnerable. To be vulnerable. They lack the courage to have a difficult engagement, and these are the challenge. So we looked at all of this last week, and if you're joining us, I encourage you, please go back and listen to it. It's an amazing engagement. I mean, the session has been something up. So today we are continuing on the number 4 challenge of a reward-centered leader, and the number 4 talks about the challenge of a reward-centered leader is that they are not running great meetings. That's another problem of a reward-centered leader. They don't want meetings. They don't want to meet. So they avoid meetings. Whatever that will make them meet with their team, they run away from that. When you see a leader that does not like to hold meetings, check that leader. He or she is not ready to take responsibility. And that is why they are reward-centered. It's all about them. Meetings remain one of the most unpopular and underestimated activities in organizations and businesses. And this is a quote from Patrick Lencioni in his book, The Motive. It is where leaders make decisions about whether to purchase a company or to sell it to a competitor in the industry, to hire more people, more employees, or to terminate people's employment. It is in meeting that these discussions are made. To implement a new strategy, to implement the growth of the organization, to implement is a salary increase, to discuss about the operational strategy and the sustainability of the organization. These are held in meetings. So if this is so important, the question is, why are reward center leaders not wanting to have a meeting? Can there be a more critical, central and indispensable activities within an organization than a meeting? And there be, it is very strange that many leaders are never committed to meetings and they see it as a stress and waste of time. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. That's the reality we are in now. In situations where such leaders are even required to have meetings, the meeting is completely unstructured and it is done quickly with no concrete action. Plan for implementation, no planning, no action. The meeting is just done because somebody has asked them to do the meeting. They only hold meetings so they can ensure that the meeting minutes are documented. And the reason they want a meeting minute is because if an inspector comes or an auditor, they can say, oh yes, this person is holding meetings. But they are not ready to take actions and implement every decisions that are in the meeting. Are you that kind of a leader? Am I that kind of a leader who is not ready to have meetings? So all they do is they just want to check the box. Okay, have this unit meet? Has this department meet? I need your minute of meeting. But are you following up on meetings and ensuring that the strategy, the growth, the organization, the plan that is required, you are using those structure of meeting? You have set up a board. You have set up a committee. You have set up a leadership team. How effective are you leading? Are you meeting with them? Have you just set them up for just setting up, or you just set them up for your own personal ambition and not looking at using them effectively to where you can challenge yourself and grow? It is a meeting we share difficult conversation. It is a meeting we provide tough feedback to ourselves. How can there not be meetings in organization? Unfortunately, you have that, particularly for those that are running ministries, for those that are running their own one-man business. The reason that your business will not grow, let me just tell you, is because of this attitude. If you feel that you can sit in your home and it just has to do you and your wife only making decisions, and you come to the office and you're implementing those decisions, I can tell you that that business may not experience sustainability. Please understand that if you have a team, always be intentional in meeting them. How can we strategize? What do we need to do to see that this organization is thriving? Where are the pain points? Where are the challenges? What next do we need to put in? Meeting is very important. Many leaders, they see meeting as a platform to hold them accountable on their activities and performance, and they don't like that. So they set up meetings without sharing an agenda for the meeting, or they rush the point on the meeting agenda to prevent questions that may arise from it. Are you that kind of a leader? Like, you just set up meeting. Some people will even announce meeting, no planning. They just come, today we are meeting. No structure, no planning, and it has become an attitude. And sometimes when you look at these individuals and you as leaders, and you try to even offer suggestions, they get angry. They ask that you're questioning their authority, and you're wondering, are you coming from a different world? Because it is just so amazing. When you see things that people should improve upon and people get angry over, things that people should appreciate feedback on, that meetings should be structured, meetings should be informed, people should be notified. Because you cannot just set up a meeting and you want people to come and contribute when there is no plan, no agenda. But we are having a challenge today. And that's the problem. And many of us, we insult our politicians. We are good in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Mozambique, everywhere. We insult our leaders. But ask yourself this question. Within your confine, within your home, in your small unit, how are you leading them? Are you also leaving there with the intention of engaging them to have a conversation, engaging them to take their feedback, having an agenda that, okay, we want to do A, B, C, and D, and we are following it through? So stop pointing fingers to those above when you, in your own little environment, you're lacking the capacity to do these things. And these are the problems we have today, and which is something that we are addressing. And I did share here that some of the challenges, and when a leader fails to hold a meeting, there are some serious results that it creates. One, it leads to bad decision making. When you don't want meeting, the decisions are poorly made. If meetings are not engaged in it completely, it's completely logical to conclude that the quality of those decisions will be low quality and less productive. The second problem is that accepting bad meetings, especially at the management and executive level, it sets a precedent for the rest of the organization. When at that top level people don't meet, then you are setting a precedent that no any other person in the unit will meet. They feel that, oh, these organizations, they don't like meetings, so we'll not even bother to waste our time. And the third challenge it creates is that it creates a credibility problem on the leaders, a reputational problem. You lost credibility, you lost respect, you lost value from your team. This is the truth, and we are here to sharpen ourselves, to mold ourselves. We are here to help each other to develop that where are we having challenge, so that we can work towards improving, because no one is perfect, including myself. We know that yes, meetings could be stressful, it could require more tasks, but please be intentional to developing a meeting time. Even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, it is not by the hours or by the timing of the meeting. What matters is how effective are you meeting with your team. And in here also I shared some challenges. There is a loss of motivation from the team, there is delayed decision making and the rest of it. Number 5, challenge of a reward-centered leader is the communication constantly and repeatedly to their team. They don't communicate. That is the number 5. Communication is a problem, and I've said it severally, that leaders, it is you your people want to hear from. As a leader, your ability to communicate is key. Your ability to communicate, and as citizens in countries, you feel frustrated when things are happening and your leader is not speaking to you. That's the same way in that organization. People want to hear from their leaders. They want their leaders to communicate effectively, and many organizations don't do that. And the reason they don't is that they've assumed that, oh, people should just or they should know whatever that is going on. And I've said this several, that where communication is a challenge and you don't communicate as you should, where you are having those situations, it's you are creating a platform for gossip. Gossip will strike where communication is not enhanced. So please, as a reward-centered leader, try to improve on this. Now we've looked at the 5 challenges of a reward-centered leader. The first one I said is that they don't build a team. The second is that they don't manage their subordinates effectively, and they don't also help their subordinates to manage theirs. The third is they don't want to have a difficult conversation. And all of these are from the book The Motive. The fourth is that they are not ready to have great meetings, and the fifth is that they don't communicate effectively. If you can work on these 5 things, I can assure you that you are going to improve significantly as a leader, and that would help you. Now that we've looked at the motive and the challenges of a reward-centered leader, the next part of this section, which we'll be rounding up, is that how do you become effective? Because even if you are a responsibility-centered leader, you are a leader that you want to lead right, you are a servanthood leader, you want to support growth, you want to you are charismatic in nature, you want to give the best. The question is that, are you leading effectively? No matter the kind of leadership you have, if your leadership is not effective, if people cannot feel the impact of leadership, something is wrong. So how do you become how do you grow yourself to becoming an effective leader? I said, based on the understanding of the reward, of the challenges of a reward-centered leader, the question is, how best should leaders lead towards empowering their team and accomplishing the organizational goals and objectives? To become an effective leader, I have the following questions for you. Number 1, are you leading people by force, or are you leading people by choice? Are you leading people with rules and compliance policies, or you are allowing people to lead and follow you by choice? If you're leading people by compliance and by rules, then you need to check your leadership. If the people you lead, you are leading them all by the policies of the organization that you have created, either through your operations, your finance, your HR unit, then you have lost them. Now, am I saying the rules are not expected in organization? No. Am I saying policies are not expected? They are. They are meant to guide us, but the most important thing is that people should be able to feel your leadership to the level that they understood the culture of the organization and they are leading and respecting systems and process, but not pulling, oh, you have done this, and every little mistakes, you begin to question the rules. You begin to be, many people are leading by rules, and leadership by rules had never survived, had never thrived. If as a leader, you ask your employees, why are you working for your organization? And it is hard for the employee to share their reasons, except for the sake of salary. The only reason the employee is doing is with the organization. Oh, because I'm earning salary. Can I be honest? You thought that employee is not your staff. You have just lose that person, because that person, once he gets a better salary elsewhere, they will shut the door and leave. So you just need to know that that salary does not keep people in an organization. Even if it does, it just keeps them for a little time. So people, there must be a defined goal, a defined vision. And this is where leadership comes in. You need to find the right people to know that, why are you here? Why are you working with us in this organization? If it is just on salary, I'm telling you, you're going to lose it. And there is this story that Simon Sinek shared. And I just felt to share that story by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek, he said he visited an hotel, I think in Las Vegas, Four Seasons Hotel. And he expressed his love to the employees in that hotel. Please follow me as I share this story. There is something you will learn from it. He says in that hotel, he saw that the employees love their job and they are passionate to it. He met one of the employees at the lobby. His name is Noah. And Noah is a guy at the coffee stand that is providing coffee service to customers and employees in that organization, in that hotel. And at the lobby, he asked Noah, do you love your job? Do you like your job? That was the question. And Noah says, I love my job. Then Simon Sinek, out of curiosity, he asked him, what is it in Four Seasons that makes you to love your job? And Noah said, throughout the day, any manager, whether the manager is in finance, is in operation, any manager that is passing by and just sees me, they are willing to support me to do my job. They are always asking me, Noah, what do you need? How can we help you? He saw an environment that is appealing, an environment that it is welcoming. They are ready to bring the best out of the employees. They are ready to invest to the highest level to make the employees become independent and add value and service their clients to the best way that they can. He said he felt empowered in Four Seasons. He felt that this is an environment that people strive for excellence. Noah experienced respect. He experienced value of belongings. He experienced a lot of empathy at first, and he said he loves the job. But now let me tell you, Noah now shared another story to Simon Sinek. He said before he joined the Four Seasons Palace, he used to work at the Caesar's Palace. And the Caesar's Palace is one of the competitive hotel that is competing against the Four Seasons. He said at the Caesar's Palace, they manage us by rules. And once a manager catches you doing something wrong or made a mistake, the manager reports you immediately. And they ensure that you have a pay cut. They ensure that your salary is deducted. They ensure that you are fired. They are working with fear. They are working scared. The same one. One experience in Caesar's Palace, another experience in Four Seasons. What is the difference? It tells you how leaders are leading their teams. What kind of leader are you? With the story of Noah, how are you leading your team? Are you leading your team with fear? Are you leading your team with anxiety? Is your team coming to office on Monday and you're already feeling depressed, or they are feeling excited that, wow, I'm going to office and I'm meeting Mr. James. I know I'm going to feel motivated today. Are you leading people that way? Noah's scenario completely paints the reality of leaders as experienced by one person. Many have a similar experience where people think leading by rules and policy only is the best approach to effective leadership. The answer is no. Your effective leadership is not by rules, please. As a leader, do you create fear, anxiety, and emotional stress to your team? Or do you build a safe space where your team can walk up to you and share their work and personal life with you because they trust you? Have you developed that trust level to the level where your team can share their personal life with you? That's the kind of leadership we're not creating an environment where it's like a family space. But please understand that where people spend 8 hours, 9 hours of their day, every day within 24 hours, that's the most part of their lives. So they want to see an environment that creates that space for them to be able to open up themselves, and they can have a leader they can rely on. Do you know that many employees, they resign from their employment because of the leader, not because of the organization? Many people are resigning today because of the leader. So as an effective leader, the question is, why do you lead? Why do you lead as an effective leader? I have something here, maybe that will help you. So let me share why I lead as an effective leader. For me, I lead because I am passionate to grow and to empower myself and everyone around me towards achieving the goals of the organization and also our goals in life. I am passionate in growing and empowering myself. Can I tell you the reason why? I cannot give what I don't have. If I want to lead others well, if I want to lead others right, I should be able to lead myself well first. I should be able to empower myself first. I should be able to grow myself first. If I am not investing in me, if I am not growing myself, there is no way I can grow and lead others. There is no way. So it has to be, for you to lead effectively, it has to be you first. Growing yourself and developing yourself and ensuring that you are growing others also, and ensuring that you are aligning your goals with the goals of the organization. Never lead people that are not going to the same way that you're going. Never lead people that they are not aligning to the journey or to the vision of the organization. Alignment is critical. And number two, I said I lead because I want to reproduce my kind in others by leading with genuineness and not scared to share my weakness or vulnerability. I am not scared of it. To share my weakness, to tell you that I don't know it, teach me. I am not. And this is the way I want to lead. I want to lead with genuineness. I want to reproduce my kind where there is integrity and quality in everything we do. I want to ensure that my team, my colleagues, there is that respect amongst us. There is a working relationship where we collaborate to overcome challenges and obstacles in our journey to greatness as effective leaders. Because as you are leading, challenges are expected, and if challenges come, how do you react as a leader? Are you the kind of leaders that when there are problems, you push it to others and you run away? Or you're a leader that you lead the team and ready to confront challenges? This is how I want to lead. Do you have clarity on why you are a leader? That's a question to you. Do you have a clarity? Because if you cannot define your leadership, then there will be a challenge for you to lead people effectively. Greg Groeschel is one of the top leaders. He does a Greg Groeschel leadership podcast, and you can check on him. He's a religious leader, but he does a big program in leadership across the world. And he's been influencing a lot of top CEOs and leaders across the world. Now, he read something in Forbes magazine where about 4,000 leaders, CEOs, top managers, top management staffs, vice president were being interviewed. About 4,000 top-level executives. And they were asked, these leaders were asked a question. And the question each of these leaders were asked is, how are you leading? Or what way do you want to improve as a leader towards making sure that you are improving yourself as a leader? And all of these 4,000 people, what they said is that one, I want to improve the areas of my leadership that I feel to improve is in managing my finances, managing budgets, and managing cash flow of the organization. They feel that this is the area they want to improve. And two, they also feel that they need to improve in the areas of technology, like AI, social media, Twitter, Facebook. They felt that these are the area they feel to improve on. They feel that in leadership, we are already there, but they need to improve in these other areas. Apparently, these same 4,000 leaders, the same question was asked to their employees. And their employees were asked, if your leader needs to improve in two things, what areas should your leaders improve on? And their employees replied, one, they wish their leaders would be better in leadership. And two, they wish their leaders would be better in emotional intelligence. They said many of these leaders, they require mental counseling because of the ways they treat them as employees. Can you see the challenge here? The leaders are taking off building financial and cash flows. This is where they feel they want to improve. They are not vulnerable enough to understand that there is still challenge in their leadership. But the people they lead, when they ask them the same question, those people say their leaders are having leadership problems. As a leader, can you objectively do a leadership survey now with your team about your leadership effectiveness without you being the one to review and score the survey? If we say let's do a survey now, as a leader, would you pass? Will I pass? What would the people you are leading say about you? Are you leading them effectively? You are not the one to answer it. If you want to live by leading your team effectively, please go and answer. Unfortunately, you will not be the one to answer that question. But this just tells you the disconnect that we have in leadership. And as I'm trying to round up, to become effective leaders, there are a few things I want you to consider as we round up. Please, you need to know the following, no matter your category in leadership. And if, as I said, every one of us, we are leaders. And the number one you need to do is, one, the people you lead, they want to know where you are taking them to. If you want to be an effective leader, people want to know where you are taking them to. Your goals, your vision must be clear and achievable. You must have a clear vision. You must have a clear goal. The way that your people want to see the end from the beginning, and they want you to lead by example. To lead effectively, you must answer the below 3 questions. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And where do I and my team fit in what we are doing? Your vision must be clear. What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing? You cannot lead people effectively if you don't have a destination. If you don't have an aim in the mind, people want to see it. How do we get there? What is my role? What is your role in that journey? Now you're understanding why leadership is key. If your team cannot articulate, or your followers, your members, they cannot articulate clearly the mission and the vision of your ministry, of your organization, the mission and the vision of you as a leader, why you are living there. If they cannot articulate it well, then you may not be an effective leader. Dr. David Oyedepo, he said something. He said when Covenant University was instituted, he said he invited the top lecturers few years after the university was started, and he told them the way this university is being run is completely not in line with the vision. There must be a realignment. If as a leader you don't know where you are going, people will lead you wrong, and this is the problem we have. A leader is not clear. He said no. The way Covenant University is being run, no. This is not another kind of a university in Nigeria. This university must go through the standard of Oxford, Harvard, and all of the rest. And I'm not seeing that. So there has to be a realignment. There has to be a change. And today, Covenant University is one of the top private universities in Africa. Not in Africa today. Because someone decided to have a clarity of a vision of where they are going. As a leader, you must be able to build that. I learned recently from John Maxwell that your vision as a leader will never unite people. Now, let me just tell you this. And when he said that, I sat down and I was thinking about it. I guess this thing is true. If everybody buys into your vision as a leader, check your vision again. By default, there are certainty that many people will not buy to your vision. Your vision will rather separate the people that will follow your vision and those that will not follow the vision, which is good for you as a leader at the beginning. When you start heading into action and implementation of your vision, many people will get off the fence and you will find out who is who, because many will not buy into the leader's vision. But do you know the challenge many of us are? We are not ready to let them go. Where you have people around you that are hypocrites, that are mediocres, that are not buying to your vision, please be disciplined enough to separate yourself from them. Because if you are not ready to, if you've allowed your emotions and your friendship come into your leadership capacity, it's going to affect your growth. And this is the problem. When businesses just strike in Africa, this is the key challenge. I hold many of us as leaders. If you're a leader, please go and read more about Jack Welch. I am learning about this man. He was one of the top and the best CEO that the world has ever reckoned as a leader. And, his principles are clear. He was the CEO of the General Electricals, one of the top and striving organizations that they have transformed. General Electricals is now over 100 years old and they are still operating. What is the secret? Effective leadership. Go and read about Jack Welch. There is so much you will learn from it. You will never know the commitment of your team until you show them the clear path of where you are taking them to. Where are you taking your team to? Have clear paths, and you have to be the one to show it. So you must have a clarity of where your team is going if you want to lead effectively. Number 2, the people you lead must feel valued. Value the people. The people you lead, do they feel valued? Do they feel appreciated? Do they feel respected? Many leaders are not respecting their team, and you want to lead effectively? No! It's not possible. Behaving the boss like the boss will never make you an effective leader. Do you make people feel part of those making an impact in the organization? Do you celebrate their wins publicly and tell them how proud you are to have them in your team? And it was because of their work that the team is achieving success. Valuing your people is very important. I did something, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. We ended our audit. It's a normal thing, our yearly audit as an organization. And I just thought, so on that Friday, it was on a Friday, the report came signed and everything, and I sent the emails to our HQ team, and I just told the team, hey guys, let's celebrate our next party. And I used that platform to appreciate and to thank the team. Now, somebody will say, is it not audit? Is that not what people are paid for? But no, let your team feel valued. Let your team feel important. Let them feel, let them know that it is because of them. If as a leader, you are the one that you want to do everything, be doing everything, I pity your leadership. It just tells me that you are not leading well. You can't do everything. And let the team feel valued. When they do something, appreciate them. Let them feel belonging. The number 3 thing that you must do is the people you lead must feel inspired. Do you inspire them? The team wants to feel energetic. They want to feel motivated and challenged to strive to their best. So if you want to be an effective leader, please try to encourage your team and inspire them more. Motivate them, challenge them. Hey guys, let's go. And please lead by example. Don't tell people to go and you are sitting behind. No. Lead by example, inspire them. Number 4, they want to feel empowered. They want their leaders to trust them. They want and create an environment for them to be empowered. That's what they want. If you want to be an effective leader, empower your team. Trust them. Hand over responsibilities to them. Allow them to fail so that they can learn from their failures. Then you guide them again to succeed. But with trying to do everything, if everything does not come through you, it will not pass through. No, that's not effective leadership. And please learn to avoid that. Number 5 is the team performance above expectation. If you want to lead effectively, please always think about exceeding expectations. If your team and yourself, you are not exceeding expectation, then you cannot lead effectively. Your team needs to understand that this is required, and at every point, we are going to keep improving. We are going to keep excelling. Are you a talker or you are the doer? Are you the one that you hold all the meetings and you share all the plans, but no execution? Your execution is challenging, is zero? No. So, your team, how is your team managing performance? How are they managing their growth? Can we see it? Can we see the performance of the team? Do you support the team in celebrating their small wins? These are important. Number 6, is the team able to work independently without your direct supervision? If you are the only one doing everything and they cannot undo things without you, then your leadership is questionable. Number 7, is the team improving in character and personal growth and development? How are you being an effective leader when the character of your team is not changing? Because you see, you are wounded. There is a level of influence leaders bring on board. There should be character improvement in your team as a result of your character. People should be willing to take their responsibilities and jobs serious because they see it in you. If the character of your team is not improving, somebody else, they so lazy 2 years ago before you became their leader, and after 2 years they are still lazy. Now I understand the aspect that people have their choices, but it also speaks more about you as a leader, because you should not have someone that is not performing to that level. It's either you improve them or you exit them. No negotiation. It's just the two things. People cannot stay at a level and you'll say, oh, this is how I need that. They're not ready to change. I have heard that. I joined the Ghana, my team in Ghana. I heard those things. And I'm grateful to God that I was able to make significant influence. I met a team in Mozambique. I heard even worse things about those things. And today, the same people that are worse are now being the excellent thing that people are appreciating. Why? Because somebody stepped in. Are you living in a place that they say because of you, something has changed? If you leave a space, you leave a department, and people are not able to say, wow, we miss you, we miss James, something is missing about you. I'm grateful in the little ways of my leadership. I have made sure that I improve people in any capacity I'll be able to. I'm still improving and working on myself. And the second part is I grow myself. So as a leader, you need to grow people. Number 8, you need to ensure the culture and the values of the organization is respected and followed. In all decisions and strategy, culture is key. Never allow the culture of the organization to be abused. But the culture has to start with you. The culture has to start with you as a leader. So to be effective, you need to have the best of the culture. As we conclude, please understand that leadership is not position or title. Leadership is your ability to influence people through an ethical and professional standard to accomplishing the goals within a timeline and to develop people to becoming great leaders and finding fulfillment in leadership. Please, I just want you to understand that. Always remember that it takes some level of influence in people to lead them effectively. If you're not influencing people, you can't lead effectively. Your ability to influence and change people can determine your success and impact in their lives. Every leader, there is something that every leader has, and I want you to understand this, that every leader has a certain amount of change in his or her pockets. There is a change you can make. There is a change I can make. Now, but you have that change in your pocket. I have it in my pocket. Every time you do something positive and great as a leader, it increases the amount of change and influence you possess on your team and followers. These are quotes from John Marshall speaking as I conclude on this. Every positive and great steps you make in your team increases your level of influence. It increases your level of change. And unfortunately, anytime a leader does something that perceived as negative, it weakens the relationship and the costs and costs the leader some of the change in his or her pocket. When you do negative things, people are watching. It reduces your level of influence. It reduces your level of your ability to change them. If a leader keep doing things that weakens the relationship, it's possible for him to become bankrupt with the people that they have. Always remember, it takes change to make change. It takes change. So the more change in your pocket, the more capacity you can to make the change. The more change you have in your pocket, the more changes you can make in the lives of people and live there effectively. The less change you have, the harder it is to lead. And this is why many leaders are frustrated and they are not able to lead. Thank you. Let's take questions.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, what you've just shared, it's a reality, and this is a reality that everyone faces. I am very sure, many people, even listening, and those that will be listening also have gone through this same situations, the same challenge. As you're asking the question, I'm just kind of reflecting also some of the past experiences myself also had in different situations and scenarios. I know sometimes it's going to be difficult because those kind of people are really challenging to work with. How can I understand? And a situation where you can always tell the leader that, sir, with all due respect, we are not we want you to succeed in this job. I keep saying that, you see, the aspect of a difficult conversation, the difficult conversation should not just be made by the leader to the team. The team, the staff, the subordinate also should be able to build that courage to have a difficult conversation. And I'm telling you what I've gone through. Let me be honest with you. Sometimes leaders, they want to even micromanage. Now, we are saying some of the weaknesses of a leader is that we don't manage their team. But we also see where some leaders, they over-manage, they over-supervise. They are not even allowing the team to take responsibility. They want to make sure that even if it's an email that you're sending to management, they want to look at it and be the one to say do it, send it. They over-micromanage. Now, I have been in those situations, and some of the things I've done is that I have a conversation with them. I let them know. I had a situation where I had to tell my leader that my boss was our country director in Ghana there, and I told him, I say, you see that you do not trust me as a finance director, because there are some even transactions that we needed to be, and he was on leave. And as at that time, he was the only one that does the final approval at the top level. And so there are 3 layers of the approvers. And he was on leave. And we needed to do it is an online transfer. So we used the token to do that. And he couldn't. And where he was there was an internet problem. And he couldn't process the payment. And all he needed to have done was for him to grant me access to make that payment. Made us go through another route, and when we went through that route, many of my Ghana teams that are here, or those that may be listening, they can tell you which one. And that caused some errors that happened, and we had to kiss it with the bank. But that would have been prevented if that leader was just able to trust him. So we've been in that situation, and what I did when he came back, I said, look, I need to be honest with you, I agree with that, but I feel you don't trust him. And that statement touched him, and he had to make room. So there are times that you just need to have this discussion with them. But let me say this: let that your leader feel comfortable around you. Let the leader not feel threatened. And what do I mean? Let them see you supporting their growth. Every leader does not want somebody that is competing with them. They don't want somebody to show ego. The problem sometimes we do is that we want to compete, but no, support the leader to succeed. Let the leader know that it will take priority in his tasks over any task. And once they ask you for something, you're doing it. And the more the person now objectively sees that, this guy meant well for me, I tell you, there is still a part in it. They know those that are for them and those that are doing well. And now, when you engage him and he or she declines, you know that at least you've done your part. But then the third thing I'll say is that learn the mistakes of that leader and don't repeat it when you have an opportunity to. I keep telling people that every leadership experience you have with people above you, there are 2 lessons to learn. There are lessons of those things they did well that you should replicate. And there are lessons on the things they did bad that should be a lesson for you and I not to find ourselves doing it. We have to learn those things so that when we are leading, we also provide that platform. And one thing I keep telling people around me, I wish and I always want people to give me feedback. I didn't start it this way. My leadership also was a challenge. I am happy to support people, but
I tell you that one of my challenges are I am impatient. I get angry when people make mistake, but I grew and learned that no, you have to surpass this. Now, should people exceed expectations? Do it yet, or give people an opportunity when mistakes are made, particularly when it is unintentional. Intentional mistakes, non-negotiable. But when it's unintentional and there is that genuineness in there, please, let's take steps to do that. So these are my advice to you. I hope I addressed the question. So adore from those angles. First, support the leader to succeed. Have a difficult conversation with them about the challenges and keep learning from those mistakes so that you don't repeat them. Thank you. Okay, so as a colleague, there is something I would want to. It speak well about the organization itself, and particularly the supervisor that you may have. And this would be one. So one way is that you need to help your supervisor. So let's start with your supervisor first. Who is the leader? Because the supervisor has a responsibility to give responsibilities to the team and tasks, and people must be able to. If you listen to it, I've said that as much as we want to offer free stays, we want people to work, and we don't want to manage them by rules or by policies. We also want people to be held accountable. We also want people to understand that they must align their goals to the goals of the organization. There is no compromise. No compromising that. So that is a critical aspect that we have to get right. So my recommendation to you is you need to give this kind of teachings, so you can assess some of these teachings and share that with your supervisor, or you give your supervisor a feedback that, with all due respect, you're feeling that this task is not adding value and contributing to the work. Now, somebody may not like you. They will say, "Oh, Zoya, you are wicked." Let me be honest with you. You must not hate yourself to love another person. You cannot. The person is taking the same salary you or she are. You are taking. They are not sharing salary with you. Never be too kind to people to the level that you are disservice to yourself. Love people, help them to grow, but when people are messing up, please report it. I do it. And I'll tell the person that, with all due respect, if you're not improving on adding value, I'm going to report you. You see, when you get to that point, I know sometimes it's difficult. I know, but don't be at the disservice of yourself for somebody else to keep enjoying and not be serious. So I will say one end that you may also be part of the problem because you are allowing it. You just said it, that the person, you will not do all the tasks, and your supervisor may even think, oh, it's both of you. But if you're calling this person out, this person will know that you are not here for joke. You want to support this work, let's do it together. You are not ready, I am going to report you. No reasonable colleague that is reasonable, except they are not interested in the job, then let them go. And let people see. Can I be honest with you? Sometimes I don't like saying this. I have had situations where leaders ahead of me, they've been let go of an organization because of me. My interest is not to have them lose their job, but I would not stand a leader that is so much of his or herself to the detriment of the growth and the sustainability of an organization. And I make an effort, and I'm being honest with you, I make effort to let the leader know. I am not that person that when I am having a challenge with colleagues, I hide it. I don't. I make you know that, look, we are getting to the point where our working relationship will be traveling. So either I exit or you exit. I am sorry, but we'll get to that point. And I've been honest with you, and I've done that. Because many times, as I said, people leave organization not because of the organization. They leave because of leaders. Don't allow somebody to mess your job up. Don't allow somebody out of their own lack of diligence and value for work affect your growth and affect your impact in life, because you are not doing two people's job and one person is enjoying all they do. You are investing time and energy on yourself. They are not. So please, what I would advise you is that keep encouraging her, but let that person know that, look, if you continue this way, I am going to report you and I'm going to document it. Let them know that, and support them as you do. Anybody around me knows that I strive for excellence. I want to keep learning and improving, and I share. I don't hide anything I do. And I like that you have the same approach. You took your time, you went to learn a course. This is fantastic. So please do the same thing. I hope I addressed your question. See, let me, as I conclude, let me share this with you. Let me tell you, as I say, every leader will do two things to you. And I want everybody to hear this and know that your leader will either set you up for success and support you to do well in your job, or they set you up for failure. These two things happen. They set you up for success by giving you the resources, empowering you, giving you the right mentorship and guidance, and making sure that they hold the team accountable so that you can perform your job excellently. Unfortunately, some leaders also set their staffs for failure by not giving them the right membership, by not supervising their team, by not providing the right platform, by doing things that will hinder growth, just like Mr. Thomas has shared. So you have to be sensitive and you have to be cautious to ask yourself, in this unit, in this department, do I have a room for growth? Is my leader setting me up for success, or is he or she setting me up for failure? And if they do, how can I face this? What do I need to do? Because when you came to the organization, when you started that ministry, when you started that team, you and the person never met. It is the organization that brought you all together. You all have your goals. So you should not allow somebody else's ambition and goals that is different from the organization and your own goal to affect you. So please always fight and make sure that the right thing is done. I hope I addressed the question. We have 8 more minutes to take questions, but if not, please let me drop my thoughts again. As I was saying, the next topic we're going to be discussing is what else. I'm still thinking between 2 topics. One is everything worldwide is uphill. And in that, I want to speak more around the need for us to build diligence and hard work and excellence in the things we do. Nothing great. As much as I appreciate the feedbacks I'm getting from people on these teachings, and I'm deeply honored with that, I can tell you it takes hours of preparation. This is not just picking items and coming to share. And you can see the passion and all that I'm using. It takes time. So there is nothing great that is not required the necessary time and diligence. How are you able to build greatness on your end, in your goals, in your vision? We'll be discussing that everything worldwide is uphill, and we're going to be discussing what else should I do when I feel stuck, when I fail, when I get disappointed, when I feel demotivated. What else? What else? I want to make sure that people don't feel demotivated in their goals in lives. You all have a dream. We all have a big dream. I am telling you, this might look like we are just in a journey. By the time the result of this is going to be coming up in the next few years, you're just going to be amazed. And my encouragement to everybody is that, please, my plea today would be that you are not implementing what you're learning. I am. I'm telling you the truth. I am learning every day. This teaching, I'm going to listen to it over and over and over again. I am. So, and I want you also to do the same. Please, let's see improvement in your leadership. We may not teach leadership again this year. It may be next year, because we have over 8 core areas, and I've tried to make sure that we are addressing them. So leadership might just be the end for the year. But please always go back. I see how people getting back to me on the teaching we did on becoming a valued employee. Somebody got back to me 2 weeks ago and he was thanking me that teaching was something else. And it's all there in YouTube. So please go back to our previous teachings, even the ones we have in 2024. We've uploaded there. Go build yourself, and you can listen to this thing while you're cooking, while you are doing your exercise, while you're in the office. You put it on your earphone and you're doing other things and not distracted. I mean, you can do multiple things still listening to it, and this is how I do. So please spend time, add value to yourself, learn, grow, visit other materials, visit other content that will add value to you. Thank you so much. Also, I have Mr. Ogushoye here also. Thank you so much, sir. He says, he said effective communication burnout of regular meetings and memos is key in any organization. This helps in reducing gossip to its nearest minimum. James, thanks for another impactful session tonight. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, effective communication is the way to go. Kolan, I see your question again. He says, my environment has a knot, but I mean, being under a leader who does not want to raise leaders, and you kept on drawing his attention, but he is not ready to listen. What do you do? In a situation where you have a leader that is not ready to, you ask yourself these two questions. One is the organization still a place you want to stay and grow, or is it a place that you need to exit? It's just those two questions. If it's a place you need to stay and grow, then keep growing yourself. Forget about the leader. A matter of time, that leader will either exit or something would happen that you will move to another department. So grow yourself. Don't stop growing. If it is an environment an organization that you can exit and find another aspect, will exit and move to somewhere. Don't allow somebody keep you from not growing. So you have two options. Assess the organization, not the leader. Can the organization, is it a place to grow? If it is, stay there and keep growing yourself. Keep investing yourself, and you will be surprised. That supervisor, you may become his leader tomorrow, and I've seen many like that. So please, that's what you should do. And if it's an environment where growth is not appreciated, then exit and move elsewhere. Thank you so much. I sincerely want to thank everyone who will be ending the session now. I want to thank you all. I'm grateful for your time again this evening, and I believe I've added value to you. Thank you so much. Let's keep going. Let's keep adding value to ourselves. Stay tuned on our teaching in August. It's going to be explosive, I can assure you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be for everybody, because everyone wants to keep striving. Whether you are 80 years old, whether you are 30 years old, whether you're 20 years old, you want to be your best. And we want to bring that to you. And on my part, trust that I am going to keep showing up. I am going to keep making sure that I bring the needed content and value for you with practical experience that will help us to strive for excellence and growth. Thank you. Never stop improving. Have a great week. Have a great day. I sincerely appreciate everyone, and have a good evening all. Thank you.